Most people in Nigeria today are actually living on medication. You won't know until you come in contact with them. For some people, they live with these persons in the house and they understand what I'm trying to say. For some, it's like, gist. But I want to tell you something. We actually came across a woman, a nurse, who actually has PhD in health education. This woman has lived on drugs. She takes drugs, 21 drugs every day of her life, 3 times a day. Just look at this. She's been able to do away with some, and some are still here. Imagine that every day of your life, 3 times a day, you take this into your system. Have you stopped to think of what it does to your liver, to your lungs? But thank God for agriculture. They say knowledge is wealth. When you discover it, you are alive. Today, she's been able to do away with all this. Yes, she still takes some of this, but like 3. That's because she came in contact with herbs, natural herbs. 80% of these herbs are from her farmland. How has she been able to move from this stage to this stage? How did she discover all this? Today we're in the home of Dr. Stella. She's going to take us through her journey of pain, resilience, and how she's been able to get to where she is right now. The program is Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. My name is Toshima Pius Ikirafi. Don't go away. We will be back shortly.
This is Against All Odds.
Dr. Stella Iwuagwu is a social entrepreneur and passionate human rights advocate. She is the founder and executive director of Center for the Right to Health, CRH, a non-profit organization founded in 1999 with a mission for research, training, advocacy, and services for the realization of the right to health, especially for vulnerable and marginalized groups in Nigeria.
So if you want to do organic farming,
she earned a Bachelor of Nursing Science degree from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and a Master's degree in Public Health from the University of Ibadan. Following her outstanding service and leadership in the field of reproductive health and rights in Nigeria, she was granted the Oprah Winfrey-funded African Women Public Service Fellowship for a master's degree in management at the Wagner School of Public Service, New York University. She obtained a PhD in health education from the Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, through the Walker Presidential Fellowship. Stella became paraplegic following a car accident in 1999 while working on her dissertation research in Nigeria.
All of this is food for animals. The rabbits will eat it, the sheep and goats will eat it, and all the banana leaves, the snails will eat it, all the pawpaw leaves, the snails will eat it. It was during my final year of the PhD. I came home to collect data for my dissertation on sexual and reproductive health of women living with HIV. So I came briefly and I was interviewing women to get their experiences. I had to go to Kano to see a board member. It was in the course of this travel that I got in an accident in Zaria. And I said, oh no, not now, not again, because I've had a bad accident in 1990. I actually did the 4th year of my nursing degree on crutches because I have big scar here. They were going to amputate this leg. It's been a journey with accidents. So when this happened, I was like devastated. So I got someone because they were trying to pull me out, but I knew my back was broken. I didn't even, it was the pain. So I said, no, please do not pull me out the way you're trying to. Let me teach you how to. I got some, because they were speaking outside, I didn't understand outside. I got a youth copper, I saw the youth copper uniform. So I spoke English to him and he understood. And he lifted me. That was where I got the best lift. They were able to do what we call log roll, move you in one piece at the same time. Then we couldn't go to Ahmadu Bello Teaching Hospital, which was about 5 minutes away, because doctors were on strike. So we ended up in a maternity home, and this was in the evening around 6 p.m. So we couldn't do an x-ray or anything. They don't even have a facility there. So all they could do was control the bleeding. Cut a long story short, my family were able to come and get me the next day. There were long delays because they're waiting for police report and all that needs to happen before they can get an ambulance to get me. So I was eventually sent to to National Hospital. At the emergency room, again, they focused on my head and forgot my back. Even though I was telling them my back was broken, they just put a collar on my neck. They did an MRI of my head and neck. They didn't do MRI of my back. And at the ICU, it was another drama. It's like, who sent her here? We don't want her. The nurses were all screaming. And I wanted to tell the nurses, like, you know what? I'm one of you. Take care of me. But at that moment, I couldn't even find my voice. The next morning, the consultant came and asked me to raise my legs. And I was looking at him. Of course, I couldn't raise my legs. And he asked them for MRI. And they gave him MRI of my head. And he asked for MRI of the back. They don't have it. Of course, they didn't do it.
This is Against All Odds.
We have the knowledge, but we don't have the equipment. And all they could do for me was wrap me in POP. And you can imagine, to wrap a whole back, whole body in POP, turning and tossing. And I was screaming, just let death come and kill me, let me die. The pain was just so bad. But I survived it, and many others. They moved me to Ghana, Kwalebu Teaching Hospital, Ghana. That was where my surgery was done. And it was coordinated by a Ghanaian doctor in New York, Dr. Hanebe Buachi. He had founded a non-profit hospital called Focus, Foundation for Orthopedic and Complex Surgeries. They do all kinds of complex surgeries there. So I benefited from that. As a matter of fact, he monitored the surgery online, By the next day, I was lying in my bed, completely paralyzed, can't do anything, and just accepting my fate. Then 14 days later, I was moved to America to continue my therapy. And while in America, I was able to finish my PhD, and I got a job as an assistant professor at Cleveland State University. And by the time I was done, I think I did about 5 years. I was itching to come home because that was not my vision. My vision wasn't a life in America. My vision and mission was here. And I'm missing home so much. I started talking to God. I said, God, is it that you're not the one that sent me on this mission? Because if you are the one, you know I can't do it from a wheelchair because Nigeria is not accessible. You also know I can't do it long distance because I need to be in the trenches. I said, God, please get me back on my feet and I'll be back in the trenches doing what I know best to do. And gradually, healing started coming, sensations started unfolding. So I was able to walk with the rollator, and it means I can come home. I had to learn how to climb stairs with a cane. It means I was eager to come home. But then I was worried about healthcare. I was on so many medications because I have not just a spinal cord injury, I have a traumatic brain injury. I have what we call neurogenic pain on my back. The pain is so bad that it feels like someone is cutting my back with razor blade and dropping lemon juice on it. And I had to be on all kinds of narcotics and very strong painkillers. At a point, they had to do surgery to implant what they call a spinal stimulator before I had a little bit of reprieve. I have what we call neurogenic bladder. I have to use a catheter to pee. And that doesn't even work because I have to pee every hour, which is not realistic. So they had to start injecting Botox into my bladder. It's almost like a minor surgery. I have to do that every 6 months to get some degree of relief. And then the bad part was my legs are so tight, from the spasms. They're so bad that I will fall. I can't even function. I can't work. So they had to make another implant. I have an implant here called baclofen pump. So because if I take it orally, I'm like a zombie. So because I have to take enough dose to help relax the legs. So they have to now put the implant there and direct it with a tube to provide the medicine directly to my spine. So all of this, all of this surgical, I can't poo by myself. At the time, someone had to put their hands in and get the poop out, which I still have to do by myself. So my supplies, I have to get catheter, I have to get diaper, I have to get all kinds of things. And it's like, I was like a baby all over again. And I was still coping with that in America. But how am I going to cope if I'm not in America? So all of that kept me in America, even though I don't want to be in America.
The death of her sister and cousin due to pregnancy-related complications compelled her to return to Nigeria in 2015 with a commitment to contribute towards improved maternal and child health outcomes.
I came home to bury my sister, and my father fell ill too. Just the pain. He couldn't live through the pain. He died too. And then I know that I cannot stay in America. I had to come home. I blamed myself that if I was here, maybe they would still be here. Maybe not. But I'm a strong advocate. I would have fought for them, And I came in and I went into the health system trying to see what can I do to bring accountability. The National Health Act has just been passed. What can we do to call attention to it? I did a documentary that was funded by MacArthur Foundation called Failed by Angels that highlighted how the health system had failed the people that had depended on it, that see them as God, but we have failed them. And they failed my family over and over again. They failed me. And, and I was determined to change that. I'm a change agent. I'm an Ashoka fellow. I was supposed to make a difference, and I did it. So I put my whole heart into that. I did a documentary, did educational series, did TED Talk, nothing. But I just didn't feel I was making any dent. The problem was so overwhelming.
This is Against All Odds.
Whoa, those medications are massive. And you were taking this like 21 of them 3 times every day. How were you able to discover that you can actually do away with this and go into the alternative medicine?
I moved from drugs to food as medicine. When I came back, I lived in a farm. Actually built this house, and I started growing things that I'm eating. My lemongrass, my even guavas and papayas, and I was just growing things that I was eating. And I'm in a natural environment. I was eating organic food, free from chemicals. I was taking herbs, bitters, scent leaf. And gradually, I started losing weight. I was a size 18, over 250 pounds when I came back from America. I was losing weight without making effort. And I started dropping the medicines. I found out I could drop one today. I could drop the other one the next week. I was just dropping the medicines from 21 medicines 3 times a day. Today, I'm on 3 medicines a day. And I really discovered this was it. I started researching one herb after the other, one herb after the other. And it was just amazing. That was a discovery. My health was optimum. And I was sharing with other people. And they were also getting the same good result. And that solidified my premise that we cannot get to the right to health without accomplishing the right to food and healthy environment. That became my new mission. That made sense, this whole journey, why I'm where I am today.
Self-care is an important tool to help you live a more positive lifestyle. Stella started SD Farms in her backyard, a compact integrated organic learning farm that includes rabbitry, fishery, poultry, snailry, mushrooms, vegetables, herbs, fruits, trees at a small scale to showcase how families can attain food security by growing their own food and consuming them in a way that nurtures their health and well-being. The realization that you cannot attain the right to health until you attain the right to healthy food and a healthy environment inspired her to initiate the Sustainable Demonstration Farms, SD Farms, in Orozo, Abuja, in 2016.
I started this place with 100 chicken. Started just growing things to eat. Today, it's a demonstration farm where we're growing things and showing people what is possible. So what is growing in your backyard? Instead of growing the royal palms, we can grow coconut. This coconut is just 4 years old and is already fruiting. We have avocado, we have shower shop, you name it. If you go inside the farm, you have every fruit you can think of. You have lemon, you have bananas, you have pawpaw, and they're all growing in my backyard. And you know another thing I discovered? Post-harvest loss. When farmers grow things and they can't sell it, they lose it. So farmers are not making money because we're not processing. We don't have a system of preserving what we're taking. Even when we know these people are taking smoothie, right? Mm-hmm. But if you don't have electricity, you can't blend your smoothie. Yes. If you don't have electricity, you can't preserve your fruits in the fridge. Mm-hmm. So dehydration became something that I discovered by accident, especially during COVID. We couldn't move, and so people had to come and buy things. They can't move, they can't get to us, we can't get to them. So our fruits and fruits were here rotting. And I said, no, we can dehydrate this. It started with the mushroom. The moment I could dehydrate mushroom, which is 80% water, I knew I could dehydrate everything. I was dehydrating papaya, I was dehydrating pineapple, I was dehydrating every fruit, and of course the vegetables were easy. Another thing about dehydrating, you know the way we eat vegetables? We eat them cooked. When you eat them cooked, you've lost most of the value, isn't it? So I started dehydrating them, using a dehydrator, grinding them, packaging them, and I found that I can wake up in the morning, throw my ugu, throw my green, throw everything together, and I have my smoothie on the run, shake it, and I said, okay, this could be a business. And I started packaging it. So that's really the journey of the discovery. One man's wealth is another man's wealth. One man's weed is another man's medicine. That's what we really are about. In nature, there is no waste.
You know, someone once said something that what you're looking for in Sokoto is actually in your Shokoto. Herbs. She's talked about so many things. She's talked about different types of herbs, and these herbs are available right under our nose. Who says we can't do it? We can definitely do it. Dr. Stella, what you've been able to discover on this wheelchair, maybe if you still had 2 legs, you'd have still been pursuing HIV. And that wasn't your mission. Your mission was alternative medicine to rescue the African man. These plants are things that we have within our reach and accessible. Okay, how have you been able to get this across, especially to the grassroots, to let them know that there's alternative here, that they can live and they might not die?
Well, it's work in progress. We just started this. This is an exercise in discovery. So one of the things that I'm doing, I'm only one person. So I go to workshops where we have nurses, workshops where we have doctors, women program, and I encourage them to become marketers of the product so that they will be better able to learn about it. You know, the way they raised us in the health profession, we just believed everything is the one the Igbo have said. Like I tell them, the white man came here, took our herbs, and discovered the chemical component of those herbs. And they went to turn them into capsule. And then we're chasing after the white capsule and the white tablet. We forgot where they got it from in the first place. So I want people, health professionals, to research these things and give their patients alternatives. And then I want us to team up and have clinical trials so that we can study them, find out what the chemical components are, and see how we can regulate it, ensure the dosage, and see what effect we have. A lot of the effects we have so far are anecdotal. It's important to do scientific research to get it to the next level. And I'm hoping institutions like NIPRI, the pharmaceutical research company, institutions, and other regulatory bodies can come on board and let's look at these things in a systematic way. It requires documentation. It requires a standard laboratory, even sometimes to do the lab work to understand the chemical components. That it's herb doesn't mean that it may not be harmful. There are some elements in herbs that can harm us. So we need to study those to ensure that everything is safe. You know, so far, because most of them are food, I am comfortable because I call them food. Carrot can't harm you. Ginger can't harm you. You know, banana, which is very good for with potassium for those with high blood pressure. Beetroot is so effective for high blood pressure patients that it can harm you. We would like physicians to be part of regulating to see, okay, try them on the Oyibo medicine. Then maybe reduce, see if this one works. Reduce this a little bit until it works. And we can create our own pharmacology based on our own natural herbs and food.
Dr. Stella Iwuagwu has enumerated the health benefits of mushrooms and other farm products. She laments that Nigerians are overlooking the economic opportunities inherent in mushrooms farming and rabbit rearing, while complaining of unemployment.
Right now, it's culinary medicine, it's functional nutrition, is what are people using, because once you get the food right, you can reverse the system. This has potential to help everybody. Now, can you imagine Ugwu alone? Just the capacity to produce Ugwu in powder. Then downhill, how many jobs will create by having people that will produce these things?
Yes.
When I started the farm, just to get people to buy the Ugwu at good price was a headache. Right now, I don't sell my Ugwu. I don't even have enough. I don't sell my bitter leaf. I don't even have enough. So can you imagine if we have more people planting this? This will create job for youths. It will create job for just about anybody. People can aggregate. So I know I'm going all over the places, but the point is, this is work in progress. There's so much that can be done. I need the government to come and help me. I need private institutions to come and help me. You don't have to buy from me. If you don't buy it in the powdered form, you can go home and prepare it yourself. You know, but the important thing is to be consistent, because you are what you eat. If you eat right, you don't even have business with the hospitals and health centers. I would like to get trees from different medicinal trees from different parts of Nigeria and have it in one place. Fruit trees, you know, a lot of our fruit trees and food trees are going extinct.
Yes.
Oba, ukwa, you know, these are things that.
Due to her resilience, she has trained and is still training over 2,000 youths, women, and men. She is hoping to engage more young people and women in direct marketing of the produce, which will create opportunities for wealth creation and personal development.
It's been a wonderful experience since I came, because things I had not known about before, I'm knowing them now. Just like the plants, some of the plants, I've not heard about them before. Now I can virtually tell you some of the problems, leaves we have here, and what they do, what they are used for.
In terms of the livestock, I've learned how to produce their feed, how to formulate their feed. Instead of going out and buy feed, everything is done here in the farm. You formulate the feed, the rabbit's feed, the pig feed, the fish feed, the snail feed. Everything here is done here in SD Farm. I didn't even know that you can plant mushroom, to be sincere. So when I came here, I found out that you can produce your own mushroom.
This is Against All Odds.
You know, someone seeing you seated here with so much energy, being concerned about people, won't even know the pains you're going through and everything you carry. If you don't say it, people won't even know that you're actually carrying an implant in you, you know, that regulates most of the things about you and all that. So talk to us about that implant. Does it have an expiring date? Is it affordable?
Luckily, I found a doctor in Lut that said that he knows how to do it, that Medtronics had trained him. It's a Medtronics device. So we're trying to get the Medtronics equipment and the software and all the things that they need to be able to do it here for me. So we're trying to raise about 5 million naira to get that done. Cost of medication, cost of the hospital trip and all that. So my friends are all trying to help me, and Nigerians are welcome to help me. It's not a lot of money, but right now it could save my life and enable me to focus on what I'm doing. Because apart from the cost of having to go to America 2 times a year, it's very disruptive. Because like right now, we're supposed to be having Mushroom Week. We have so many things that I'm supposed to be involved in. But I had to leave all of that on hold and travel. And that is not really where I want to be. And the good thing is, once we get that here, once we get this equipment here, it will not benefit only me. We have so many people with spinal cord injury. We have people with cerebral palsy and brain injury that suffer spasm. We have people with post-polio syndrome that suffer severe pain, and they will benefit from all of this. But of course, the surgery and implant had to be in place before they can utilize the programmer. So it is my ardent desire that once I'm able to get the programming in, we will have to do a bigger fundraiser and maybe involve the Ministry of Health and other pharmaceutical companies and even Medtronics to get that implant and surgery available so that more Nigerians with disability can utilize this.
This is Against All Odds.
It's not just for today. So when you have an opportunity to sow wisely. Before we run, I'm sure Dr. Stella has something to say to someone.
Dear Nigerians and people across the world watching, disability is not the end of the road. It can be the beginning of a new opportunity. We'll pray for the resilience and faith and gratitude to be able to deal with it. You know, they say God can give you more than you can carry. There are times when I'm like, God, this is enough. And then I realize, when I look back, I realize that, man, I've overcome so much. Have faith. This too shall pass. It will take you to a new beginning. The other day, you know, I would say I was crying I have no shoes until I saw someone with no legs. You know, I was crying that I'm on a wheelchair. Then I saw some person that had no hands and she was feeding a baby and doing all kinds of odd things. I saw someone with no legs at all. So it's never really complete for everybody. And disability, yes, mine is visible, you can see. There are a lot of people with invisible disability, people dealing with depression, people dealing with suicidal tendencies, dealing with drug abuse and other kinds of challenges. It's important that we be considerate and find out how they are coping. Put in a positive word, a positive prayer, help where you can. We're all doing our best to cope with what we're dealt with. God will see us through. God will see you through. Don't lose hope. Help is on the way.
A word is enough for the wise. It's been Against All Odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. My name is Doshima Pius Ikirove. We're hoping to have you do this again with us next week, same time, same station. Stay positive, stay alive. Bye-bye.